I know a lot of people feel a bit uneasy when they start looking at large outdoor digital signs because you're putting a pricey piece of tech out in the elements and you don't want to end up with something that just flickers or fades after a few months. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Today I'm going to walk through the Samsung OHA-S series 55-inch business display and try to give you a clear picture of whether it actually lives up to its promises or if you might be better off looking elsewhere. First, let's talk about the kind of environment this thing is built for. Samsung markets the OHA-S as an outdoor signage solution with an IP56 rating. In plain English, that means it's sealed against dust and can handle heavy splashing or rain, and the rating is something you see on rugged industrial gear rather than on a home TV. For a storefront on a busy downtown street, a restaurant patio, or a transport hub where the unit will face wind-driven rain and occasional dust, that protection is the first line of reassurance. The hidden 4 fans on the underside are another practical design choice. They keep the panel cool without exposing any vents to the outside where moisture could get in. In my research, installers of similar outdoor panels often warn that exposed venting can become a maintenance nightmare in humid climates. Samsung's approach here cuts that risk down to almost nothing. Brightness is another deal breaker for outdoor signs. While the spec sheet calls it ultra bright, the real question is, does it stay legible under direct sunlight? Users in the field have reported that displays with proper outdoor certification can maintain a readable image even at noon on a clear day, and Samsung's UL verification for outdoor visibility backs that claim. In practice, that means you can put a menu board on the side of a CAF and still see the details when a customer walks by in full daylight. The color reproduction is marketed as enhanced red, green, and blue shades, which translates to more vivid branding. If your corporate identity relies on a precise shade of blue or a bold orange that needs to pop, you'll notice the difference compared to a standard indoor monitor that looks washed out in the sun. Now, let's consider the day-to-day experience of running this thing. The OHA-S runs on a standard 110120V input and can be wired into a typical commercial power line, but you do need a dedicated circuit if you plan to run it for many hours a day. The power draw isn't something Samsung highlights heavily, but outdoor panels of this size usually consume a noticeable amount of electricity, especially when the fans are active. That's something small businesses should factor into their operating budget. On the bright side, because the fans are hidden and run only when temperature thresholds are reached, they're quieter than many wall-mounted indoor displays that have visible, whirring vents. In a quiet office lobby or a museum entrance, that low-noise operation can be a subtle but appreciated benefit. Installation is where the rubber meets the road. The unit is designed for wall mount or pole mount, and the mounting hardware is included, but you'll almost certainly need a professional installer. The panel weighs a fair amount, and the IP56 sealing means you can't just bolt it onto a flimsy bracket and call it a day. You also have to think about wind load. The certification assumes the display will be mounted according to Samsung's guidelines, which include reinforcing the wall or pole to handle gusts that could reach 50 miles per hour in some regions. If you're a DIY-oriented shop owner, that extra cost and coordination can be a deterrent. So, who should actually buy the OHA-S? If you run a retail chain that needs consistent branding across multiple storefronts, the reliability of an IP56 rated, UL verified screen can save you headaches down the line. Think of a fast food franchise that wants the same high-definition promotional graphics on every location, or a university campus using the display for real-time alerts and event information at outdoor walkways. The bright, vivid colors help draw attention in bustling environments, and the weatherproofing means you won't be swapping panels every season. For larger enterprises, the initial cost is offset by the reduced maintenance. The hidden fans mean you're less likely to have to open the unit up for cleaning or to replace a fan that's clogged with debris. Conversely, if you run a small coffee shop with a limited budget, the OHA-S might feel like overkill. You could get away with an indoor-rated commercial monitor and a simple weatherproof enclosure for a fraction of the price. The same goes for businesses that only need a sign during daytime hours, a lower brightness indoor